Empathy Podcast.
You know what I'm saying? What's going on, world? We around here with these fucking weirdos around here, son. These people is fucking weird as shit out in Morton, PA.
Your nervous system can be weaponized against you without anyone even laying a single solitary finger on you. Just think about that for a second. It's not just a physical thing anymore. We're talking invisible warfare, Rachel.
Invisible warfare, Jake? Are we talking about some kind of psychic attack? Because I've been saying for years that Susan from accounting is throwing hexes. I knew it. This is vindication.
No, not hexes, although I wouldn't put it past Susan. We're talking about things like harassment, betrayal, intimidation, sleep deprivation, all the fun stuff that turns your own internal operating system against you, like a rogue AI trying to give you a tummy ache.
Oh, so it's not a hex. It's just, a Tuesday. I see. So my body isn't just reacting to, being poked with a stick. It's reacting to the idea of a stick, or the memory of a stick, or the general stickness of life. That feels deeply unfair.
Exactly. It's like your nervous system is a ridiculously overprotective bouncer at the club of your life. And it's not just checking for a fake ID, it's checking your vibe, your attitude, the look in your eye, whether you've had enough sleep, if anyone's ever lied to you in the past, anything that even hints at trouble, and boom, survival mode.
So my bouncer is basically a high-strung, paranoid, possibly slightly clairvoyant chihuahua on espresso. Great. That explains a lot of my reactions to, say, a sudden loud noise or a text message from an unknown number. My body's like, alert! This is probably a tiger wearing a trench coat.
A tiger in a trench coat, absolutely. And it's not just tigers. It's uncertainty. It's humiliation, which is basically the emotional equivalent of suddenly realizing you're giving a presentation in your underwear. It's loss. It's hypervigilance, which is just a fancy way of saying your brain is constantly doing a perimeter check like it's guarding Fort Knox, even when you're just trying to enjoy a sandwich.
The sandwich is the ultimate vulnerability, Jake. That's when the tiger strikes. So all these lovely non-physical stressors can flip the survival mode switch. Like your body's got a panic button for existential dread. My panic button is currently stuck on constant red alert because I can't remember if I locked the front door yesterday.
And that's the thing. It's not weak. It's not crazy. It's literally how your system is built. Your nervous system is always asking, am I safe? It's the ultimate micromanaging boss. And if the answer keeps coming back as nope, absolutely not, definitely not safe, probably a tiger, then your body just starts adapting. Like, all right, if we're living in a constant state of DEFCON 1, we might as well get comfortable here.
So it's not me, it's my nervous system's internal security team just being a little overzealous, like a neighborhood watch group that starts patrolling with binoculars and night vision goggles because someone once left a lawn gnome slightly askew.
Exactly. They see one slightly askew lawn gnome, and suddenly every shadow is a potential threat. Every unexpected text message is a coded warning from the Illuminati. Every delay in a response means you're already doomed.
And it makes perfect sense because it's like a primal, ancient part of our brain. It's designed to keep us from being eaten by wolves. Now it's just trying to protect us from, a passive-aggressive email from HR.
Which, let's be honest, can feel just as threatening as a wolf. A wolf you can at least punch. An email from HR means you have to sit through a very uncomfortable meeting where they use words like synergy and optimize to tell you you're doing something wrong.
You know what? I'd rather face the wolf. At least with the wolf, you get a clear outcome. Either you're lunch or you're hero. With HR, you're just ambiguously reprimanded for eternity. That's a true nervous system weaponization.
The ambiguity, that's the real villain, because your bouncer chihuahua nervous system is like, is it a threat? Is it not a threat? Is it a metaphorical wolf or just a really fluffy dog? I need answers.
And since it can't get clear answers, it just assumes the worst. It's like your brain is constantly refreshing Twitter, waiting for the bad news to drop. It's exhausting, Jake. Absolutely exhausting.
It is exhausting because even without a physical attack, your body experiences it like a prolonged assault. You're living in a constant state of, is this it? Is this where the wolf shows up? Even if the wolf is just like a Monday morning meeting.
The Monday morning meeting is the apex predator of the modern world, let's be real. It silently stalks your weekend, then ambushes you just when you thought you were safe. My nervous system definitely treats those as a prolonged attack.
And the fact that it's your own body turning on you is just the ultimate betrayal, right? Like, I trusted you, nervous system. We were supposed to be a team. Now you're just sending me racing thoughts and stomach issues because I saw an email with urgent in the subject line? All right, so let's dive into the specifics of this emotional weaponry. First up, harassment. The text says harassment can keep you on alert, with your brain scanning for danger, patterns, tone, timing, looks, messages, tension. Essentially, it turns your brain into a perpetually overworked, highly suspicious security camera.
A security camera that's powered by anxiety and fueled by caffeine. My brain already does that on a good day. Now you're telling me harassment just cranks it up to 11? So my internal security guard isn't just looking for suspicious packages, it's looking for the intent behind the package, the history of the package, and what the package might be thinking about the other packages.
Exactly. It's not just, is that a threat? It's, is that a threat that looks like the last threat but slightly different, so I have to adjust my entire threat detection algorithm on the fly. It's exhausting just thinking about it. And then boom, fight, flight, freeze, or fawn.
Ah, the 4 Fs of, oh no, I'm uncomfortable. Fight, flight, freeze, or fawn. My personal favorite is fawn, which is when you suddenly become overly agreeable and try to make everyone like you, even though you're internally screaming. It's the ultimate people-pleaser defense mechanism. Like, please don't hurt me, I brought snacks.
Fawning is basically putting on a little show for the perceived aggressor. Like, look how non-threatening and delightful I am. Surely you wouldn't harass me, the person who just complimented your shoes and offered you a small non-threatening piece of fruit. It's a sad little dance of self-preservation.
It's a tragic ballet, and meanwhile, your brain is still scanning, scanning, scanning. It's like you're watching a really bad horror movie, but you're also the star, the director, and the craft services person, and you can't turn it off. The monster's always just around the corner, or in the reflection of your own anxious eyes.
Yeah, and the monster is wearing a shirt that says live, laugh, love, but their eyes betray the pure, unadulterated menace beneath. Harassment makes your brain hyper-aware of these tiny tells. A subtle shift in tone, danger. A delayed response, red flag. The way someone breathes, probably trying to suffocate you with their air.
Oh, the breathing, I know that one. Someone breathes too loud or too soft or not at all, and your brain's like, okay, what's their angle? Are they trying to intimidate me with their lung capacity? Or are they playing dead? I need more data.
It's like your internal algorithms are being fed really bad, incomplete data, and it's trying to make sense of it. And its conclusion is always, danger, danger, Will Robinson, even when Will Robinson is just trying to find his car keys.
So harassment effectively turns you into a highly sophisticated, but deeply miserable, threat assessment system. My life is now a government black site of danger detection. I'm constantly profiling inanimate objects.
It profiles the inanimate objects, the slightly too long glances, the emails that are just a little too short. Everything becomes a data point in the "is this trying to kill me" equation. It's a full-time job, Rachel. A full-time, unpaid, deeply unsettling job.
And the worst part is you can't clock out. Your brain is just always on. It's like having a security alarm that's constantly chirping because it thinks a spider web is a home invasion, but you can't find the spider web. And the spider might be a tiny evil genius.
A tiny evil genius spider whose only goal is to make you think about its intentions. The intentions of the spider. It's not just the spider, it's the why of the spider. That's the real harassment, knowing that spider is out there thinking thoughts.
And then you get locked into one of those Fs. I often just freeze. I become a statue of quiet panic. My internal monologue is a frantic whisper. Don't move. Maybe it won't see me. My clothes are camouflage, right? right?
Yeah, and then your brain is simultaneously running a full diagnostic, trying to calculate the odds of survival, while also debating the optimal strategy for invisibility. It's a multitasking nightmare, like trying to do your taxes while defusing a bomb, and also explaining quantum physics to a particularly dense squirrel.
The dense squirrel is the worst part. He keeps asking, but why is the bomb ticking? And you're like, because someone wanted to weaponize my nervous system, Gary. Now back away from the red wire.
Gary the squirrel has no concept of an internal threat. He only understands acorns and actual bombs. This, however, is a metaphorical bomb made of glances and tones, much harder to disarm. You can't just cut the red wire if the red wire is someone's smirk. Now, if harassment is the constant chirping of a faulty alarm, betrayal is like the alarm system suddenly self-destructing. The text says betrayal can feel like a deep nervous system shock because trust is tied to safety. When someone close breaks that trust, your body may act like the world is no longer stable.
Oh, betrayal. That's not just a faulty alarm. That's like the alarm system suddenly turning on you. Your house, which you thought was safe, is now actively trying to lock you in the pantry. It's not just unstable, it's a sentient, spiteful building.
A sentient, spiteful building that you personally let in. You gave it a key. You fed it. You probably even named it Mr. Snuggles. And now Mr. Snuggles is holding you hostage with a butter knife and a very stern look. Your nervous system is like, wait, I vouched for this guy. My entire safety algorithm is based on this guy being good. What do I do now?
Yeah, your nervous system's internal map of safe people just gets shredded. It's like Google Maps suddenly deciding that all roads lead to a pit of lava. You can't trust anything. Your entire navigational system is corrupted. You're just spinning in circles yelling at the GPS, but you said turn left at the giant fluffy bunny of trust.
And the fluffy bunny of trust has now revealed itself to be a deeply unsettling, possibly demonic fluffy bunny of betrayal. And now every other fluffy bunny you encounter, even if it's perfectly innocent, your nervous system is like, not falling for that again. Every bunny is a demon now, every single one.
So now your brain has to constantly second-guess everything. Every interaction, every compliment, every I'll be there for you. It's like living in a world where everyone is a potential double agent, and you're just waiting for them to reveal their secret identity, which is probably the person who eats the last cookie without asking.
The cookie betrayer, the most heinous of all, and your nervous system, which was already on high alert from the harassment, now has this existential crisis to contend with. It's like your bouncer chihuahua, after dealing with the subtle threats, suddenly realizes its own owner is secretly a cat person. The entire foundation of its world shatters.
Oh, the cat person revelation, that's a deep cut for a canine nervous system. It's not just about a lack of safety, it's a crisis of identity. Who am I if my entire belief system is a lie? Is my tail even real? Am I just a puppet of circumstance?
Is my tail even real? That's exactly it. Your nervous system starts questioning its very existence, and it spirals into this, well, if that person could do that, what else is possible? Is the sky actually blue? Is gravity just a suggestion? The world becomes a house of cards, and someone just opened a window.
Someone didn't just open a window, Jake. Someone took a leaf blower to the house of cards. And now all the little paper kings and queens are just flying everywhere. And your brain is trying to catch them. But it's really hard when you're also trying to figure out if the floor is actually still there.
The floor is gone, Rachel. It's an illusion. We're all just floating in the void of post-betrayal existential dread. And your nervous system is screaming, I told you not to trust the fluffy bunny. And you didn't listen. Now look where we are.
It's like your internal monologue becomes a particularly angry I told you so parrot perched on your shoulder, constantly squawking about the time you were naive enough to believe in, a reliable internet connection.
A reliable internet connection? That's the ultimate betrayal right there. It promises you the world and then delivers a pixelated loading circle. And your nervous system is like, see, this is why we can't have nice things. This is why we must always assume the worst.
So combine the constant low-level terror of harassment with the rug-pulling existential crisis of betrayal, and you've got a nervous system that's essentially a burnt-out conspiracy theorist muttering about chemtrails and how the moon landing was faked.
Yes, It's wearing a tinfoil hat, but the tinfoil hat is made of its own overactive synapses. It's not just looking for threats, it's generating threats. It's projecting betrayal onto innocent garden gnomes. Every garden gnome is a mole.
Every garden gnome is a mole, and the suspicious pattern of their pointy hats, it's clearly a secret code. Your nervous system is now fluent in gnome cipher, and it's telling you the world is ending, and you believed in those gnomes. You trusted them with your lawn.
Okay, so we've got the constant surveillance of harassment, the world-shattering instability of betrayal. Now let's add the cherry on top of this anxiety sundae, sleep deprivation. The text says it lowers your ability to regulate stress. The brain gets more reactive, emotions hit harder, concentration drops, and the body has less ability to calm itself.
Sleep deprivation, the silent killer, or in this case, the loud, obnoxious amplifier of every other terrible thing. It's like taking your already overzealous conspiracy theorist nervous system and feeding it pure adrenaline and a double espresso. It's not just a bouncer chihuahua anymore. It's a bouncer chihuahua on crystal meth guarding a kindergarten classroom.
A crystal meth chihuahua bouncer guarding a kindergarten. That's a visual. And it's not even a good bouncer, right? Because it's so hopped up, it starts throwing out the kids who aren't causing trouble. You, with the crayons, you look suspicious. Get out.
Exactly. The brain gets more reactive. So instead of calmly assessing a situation, it just goes straight to DEFCON 5. Someone asks you to pass the salt, and your brain is like, is this a challenge? Are they trying to assert dominance? I will not be salted.
I will not be salted. That's going on a t-shirt. And emotions hit harder. So that little annoyance that normally you just shrug off, now it feels like a personal affront from the universe itself. Like the universe is specifically targeting you with slightly damp socks.
Oh, slightly damp socks are a capital offense when you're sleep deprived. That's not just an inconvenience. That's a malicious act of psychological torture. Someone knew I was tired, and they still put their damp socks in the dryer with my clean laundry. This is war.
And then concentration drops, so you're not even good at being angry anymore. You're just a highly reactive, emotionally volatile, damp sock-obsessed mess who can't even remember what you were just raging about. You're a walking, talking, sputtering internal combustion engine fueled by mild inconveniences.
A sputtering internal combustion engine that's trying to remember where it left its keys, while simultaneously convinced that the mailman is part of a grand conspiracy to replace all the good-smelling laundry with damp socks, and the body just can't calm itself. It's stuck on a loop.
It's stuck on a loop like a skipping record of existential dread. You know you need to calm down, but your body is like, nope, we're doing another encore of the panic show. Clap along if you're internally screaming. And it's all because you watched just one more episode on Netflix.
Netflix is the true weaponizer of the nervous system. The next episode button is a tiny, insidious little bomb. And then chronic stress just keeps those stress hormones elevated. So it's not just the acute panic, it's the long-term corrosion, like your insides are slowly rusting.
Rusting from the inside out. My heart rate, digestion, muscle tension, mood, memory, pain sensitivity, all just slowly turning into a creaky, unreliable mess. It's like your internal plumbing system suddenly deciding it only wants to dispense lukewarm uncertainty and jagged little pains.
Lukewarm uncertainty, that's my new band name. And it just explains so much. You're trying to remember where you put your phone, and your digestive system is like, nah, we're doing a full system reboot down here. Good luck with that memory thing.
And your muscles are all tense, like they're constantly bracing for impact, even when you're just sitting on the couch. Your mood is a roller coaster operated by a blind squirrel. Your memory is a sieve designed to let out all the important stuff. It's a full-body rebellion.
A full-body rebellion where all the tiny organs are unionizing against you? We demand more sleep. We demand fewer damp socks. We demand fewer passive-aggressive emails.
And the pain sensitivity. So now stubbing your toe isn't just annoying, it's a universe-ending cataclysm. It's like your nervous system has turned all its dials up to 11, and now every little input is just overwhelmingly loud and painful. It's a sensory overload nightmare.
It's like someone turned the volume knob of existence to max, and now even the sound of a distant hummingbird is a jarring cacophony, and you're just trying to figure out why your stomach is doing the cha-cha. It's a real fun time for everyone involved, mostly no one.
the cha-cha of the gut, a particularly unsettling dance. So you've got this trifecta of terror, the relentless low hum of harassment, the gut punch of betrayal, and the mind-numbing fatigue of sleep deprivation, all conspiring to turn your insides into a haunted house of minor discomforts.
So what does this perfect storm of non-physical menace actually feel like? What are the common nervous system effects? The text gives us a truly delightful laundry list. Racing thoughts, tight chest, stomach issues, headaches, jaw clenching, trembling or internal shaking, irritability, feeling numb or detached, panic, trouble focusing, exhaustion but inability to fully rest, feeling wired and tired, and oversensitivity to sounds, people, messages, or environments.
Oh, that's not a laundry list, Jake. That's the entire contents of a haunted attic just thrown at you. Racing thoughts? My brain is currently hosting the Daytona 500 of worries, and all the cars are miniature versions of things I forgot to do. Tight chest, yup, feels like an elephant is trying to parallel park on my sternum. Stomach issues. My stomach is actively auditioning for a horror movie with sound effects.
The parallel parking elephant? That's a keeper. Headaches, of course. My head feels like a drum solo being performed by angry squirrels. Jaw clenching. I could crack walnuts with my teeth right now, purely through muscular tension, not actual intent to eat walnuts, just stress-induced jaw power.
You could enter a competitive walnut cracking contest, fueled purely by anxiety. Trembling or internal shaking? My insides feel like a shaky jello mold trying to hold a conversation. And irritability. Oh, my default setting is now mildly enraged at everything, from the sound of a distant bird to the existence of air.
The air, how dare it? And then you pivot to feeling numb or detached. So one minute you're furious about the air, the next you're floating above your own body, observing yourself get mad about the air. Like, look at that little angry person down there. Fascinating. It's a real emotional whiplash.
It's like your emotions have their own little DJ, and he's just slamming between death metal and ambient whale sounds with no transition whatsoever. A panic, of course, is the main guest star. My panic is currently a small fluffy dog that somehow learned to play the accordion badly in my chest.
A panic accordion dog. That's a good one. Trouble focusing. My attention span is currently shorter than a TikTok video. I'm trying to read a sentence and my brain is like, look, a shiny thought about what I had for breakfast 3 days ago.
And then the classic, exhaustion but inability to fully rest. The wired and tired phenomenon. You're so tired you could fall asleep standing up, but the moment you lie down, your brain decides it's time to review every single embarrassing thing you've ever said since 1998. It's a cruel joke perpetrated by your own neurology.
The review of embarrassing moments. Always a crowd pleaser for the wired and tired brain. It's like your brain is a movie director who only screens the blooper reel on repeat at 3 a.m. And then the oversensitivity. Sounds are too loud. People are too much. Messages are too direct. Environments are too everything.
Everything. It's just too much. It's like someone turned up the saturation and the volume on life, and you're just trying to exist in this hyper-real, offensively loud world. A whisper feels like a shout. A gentle touch feels like a punch. Your nervous system is a raw nerve, exposed to the elements wearing a tinfoil hat, listening to the panic accordion dog.
The exposed raw nerve wearing a tinfoil hat, listening to the panic accordion dog. That's the ultimate state, isn't it? It's not just a feeling. It's a full-on sensory orchestra of suffering conducted by the ghost of a misremembered email.
The ghost of a misremembered email. It's like your internal world has become a poorly organized, incredibly noisy flea market. Everything is for sale. Everything is slightly broken, and everyone is yelling at you to buy a panic accordion dog.
And the flea market is also infested with parallel parking elephants and angry squirrels doing drum solos. It's a full ecosystem of distress. You can't even pick one symptom to focus on because they're all just vying for your attention, like toddlers screaming for juice at the same time.
Oh, the toddlers screaming for juice. And the juice is calm, but you can't reach it because you're busy trying to understand why your stomach is performing abstract jazz. It's a complex, chaotic system. And all of it, all of this delightful suffering starts with one simple question, right?
That's right, Rachel. The one question to rule them all. So, at the core of all this delightful chaos, it boils down to one fundamental question. Your nervous system is always asking, am I safe? That's it. It's a very simple, very primal question. But if the answer keeps coming back as no, the body starts adapting around danger. Even if no one lays a hand on you, the body can still experience it like a prolonged attack.
Am I safe is the nervous system's version of a toddler asking, are we there yet? And if the answer is constantly no, and also a tiger might jump out in any moment, then yeah, your body's going to go full Mad Max on itself. It adapts to a permanent state of apocalypse prep.
A permanent state of apocalypse prep. Your body is stockpiling internal resources, building emotional bunkers, and training its adrenaline for a marathon even when the threat is just a subtly aggressive emoji. It's like your internal alarm system is a boy who cried wolf, except the wolf is real, it just happens to be tiny and metaphorical.
And then after a while, your body just starts expecting the wolf. Even when there's no wolf, it's like, well, there should be a wolf. I've prepared for a wolf. Where is my wolf? It's the ultimate self-fulfilling prophecy of peril. It's that tiny, evil genius spider from earlier, but now it's running a whole army of tiny, evil genius spiders, and they're all asking, am I safe? And the answer the spiders are giving themselves is absolutely not. Look at all these potential dangers. That dust bunny? Threat. That gentle breeze? Imminent doom. The silence? Most suspicious of all. So your body is effectively training for a war that's mostly happening inside its own head. A very, very loud war.
It's a loud internal civil war, and you're caught in the crossfire. And this is why it feels like a prolonged attack, because your nervous system is literally treating like one. It's like being in a bad relationship with your own biology. It just keeps fighting even when the enemy has already left the building.
It's not just a bad relationship. It's like your body is a method actor who decided to stay in character for a war movie, even though filming wrapped months ago. It's still doing push-ups and eating MREs, muttering about the enemy, which is now the dirty dishes.
The dirty dishes are truly an existential threat. And the text provides a beautiful summary of how this all rolls up. Harassment attacks peace. Betrayal attacks trust. Sleep deprivation attacks recovery. And together, Jake, they attack regulation.
They attack regulation. It's like a villain origin story for your own internal stability. Harassment is the annoying sidekick who constantly whispers doubts. Betrayal is the big boss who pulls the rug out from under you. Sleep deprivation is the evil henchman who siphons off your energy while you're not looking. And the result? Your whole system just becomes unregulated, a wild, untamed beast of anxiety.
A wild, untamed beast of anxiety that can't remember where it put its phone. It's a chaotic stew. Harassment steals your zen, betrayal shatters your sense of foundation, and then sleep deprivation comes in and steals your ability to even care about having zen or foundation.
Yeah, sleep deprivation is the ultimate I don't even care anymore button. It's like the bouncer chihuahua after an all-night shift. It's seen too much. It's too tired to judge. It's just whimpering in a corner, occasionally snapping at shadows. It's lost its regulation. It's gone feral.
A feral bouncer chihuahua. That's a new level of animal cruelty, but also relatable. So your body is effectively being bombarded by these three distinct forms of non-physical weaponry, and it just can't keep its cool. It's like trying to juggle 3 flaming chainsaws while riding a unicycle on a tightrope, blindfolded, after not sleeping for 72 hours.
And one of the flaming chainsaws was given to you by someone you trusted, and the unicycle is subtly vibrating with low-level intimidation, and the tightrope is made of spaghetti. This isn't just juggling. This is an avant-garde circus of pure, unadulterated nervous system meltdown.
An avant-garde circus where the ringmaster is your racing thoughts and the clowns are all the tiny evil genius spiders. And they're all asking, am I safe? But they're doing it in a really annoying high-pitched voice because they haven't slept either.
The high-pitched voice of existential angst. It's the soundtrack to your unregulated nervous system. In this whole thing, it leaves you feeling not weak, not crazy, just overloaded, like a server that's trying to run 1,000 complex programs at once, and it just keeps buffering.
And glitching, and occasionally just crashing entirely. So when someone asks me what's wrong, I can just say, my nervous system is currently experiencing a critical regulation failure due to a prolonged metaphorical attack from several highly specific non-physical stressors.
They'll be like, oh, so you're just tired. And you'll be like, no, I'm at the intersection of harassment, betrayal, and sleep deprivation, and the traffic light is permanently stuck on chaos. So when your nervous system is consistently being hammered by this unholy trinity of harassment, betrayal, and sleep deprivation, it results in you feeling unlike yourself. The text says not weak, not crazy, just overloaded. And that overload, if it goes on too long, turns into a whole other delightful smorgasbord of issues.
Oh, a smorgasbord, you say? I prefer to think of it as a nervous system's greatest hits album of suffering. We're talking burnout, anxiety, depression, trauma responses, paranoia-like hypervigilance, emotional volatility, and physical wear and tear. It's basically the everything that can go wrong will collection curated by your own body.
Burnout, the feeling that your internal battery isn't just low, it's actually spontaneously combusted and taken the charging cable with it. Anxiety, which is just your brain doing improv, but all the scenes are about worst-case scenarios. And depression, where the lights are on, but nobody's home, and also the furniture is sad.
The furniture is sad, and it's probably covered in damp socks. Trauma responses are next, so your body just starts reacting to everything as if it's the original threat. That's like your nervous system developing PTSD from a pop-up ad.
PTSD from a pop-up ad. I mean, some of them are pretty aggressive. Then there's paranoia like hypervigilance, which is just a fancy way of saying you're convinced your plant houses are judging you. And they probably are, if we're honest.
My plant houses are absolutely judging me. They've seen some things. And then emotional volatility. So you're a human mood ring that just flashes between intense rage and profound sadness at the drop of a hat. Or at the drop of a metaphorically damp sock.
A human mood ring powered by metaphorical damp socks. That's a product I would buy. And then the grand finale, physical wear and tear. So your body, after all this, just starts breaking down. It's like your car deciding it's had enough of your nonsense and just starts shedding parts on the highway of life.
My car is definitely shedding parts on the highway of life. So this isn't just about feeling a little blue. This is your entire system going into catastrophic failure mode. It's like your internal house of cards, which was already leaf-blown by betrayal, now has termites of burnout and a leaky roof of anxiety, and the foundations are crumbling from physical wear and tear.
And the termites are the tiny evil genius spiders from earlier, but now they're wearing little hard hats and actively sabotaging your drywall. And the house is still full of parallel parking elephants and panic accordion dogs. It's an ecosystem of existential decay.
And the most depressing part? The sad furniture from depression is still in there, covered in damp socks. So you're not just burned out, you're burned out on a really uncomfortable, sad couch.
A sad couch that occasionally tries to gaslight you about whether you actually locked the front door. It's a truly diabolical situation. And it all stems from that nervous system just trying to protect you. It's like a bodyguard who's too good at their job, and now they've locked you in a padded room for your own safety, but the room is full of angry clowns.
Angry clowns who are also the tiny evil genius spiders. And they keep asking if you're safe, but they're not waiting for an answer. They're just yelling the question. It's a real nightmare circus in there. Your body trying to adapt to constant danger just keeps making things worse.
It keeps making things worse, yes. It's like trying to fix a leaky faucet with a sledgehammer. You mean well, but now the whole wall is gone and the water pressure is even higher, and you've got a new hole in your house where the parallel parking elephant can just waltz right in.
And the elephant will probably bring damp socks. It's an escalating cycle of discomfort and disrepair. It's not just a momentary hiccup. It's a full-blown systemic collapse, all because your body thought it was doing you a favor by staying on high alert for the metaphorical tiger.
And now it's not even a tiger. It's just the constant idea of a tiger, lurking behind every bush, even the bush in your own backyard that you planted. The plant is now a potential predator. Your nervous system has become an paranoid gardener, constantly suspicious of its own flora.
The paranoid gardener. That's good. And the plants are silently judging you. So, this whole situation, it's not just a bad day. It's a bad life, orchestrated by your own well-meaning but ultimately overwhelmed nervous system.
All right, so we've thoroughly explored the abyss. We've seen the tiger in the trench coat, the parallel parking elephant, and the panic accordion dog. Now how do we actually calm this internal circus down? The text offers some glimmers of hope. It talks about things that help calm the system back down.
Glimmers of hope, thank goodness. Because I was about to buy a one-way ticket to a silent, dark cave to live out my days. So first up, regular sleep window, even if sleep is imperfect. So consistency is key, even if the sleep is still performing its own interpretive dance of wired and tired.
Consistency over perfection, right? It's like telling your feral bouncer chihuahua, hey, maybe if you go to bed at the same time every night, even if you just lie there and stare at the ceiling, eventually your brain might get the hint that it's okay to power down. It's retraining the internal panic accordion dog to play lullabies.
Retrain the panic accordion dog, I'm on board. And then reducing stimulation before bed. So no more doom scrolling, no more watching true crime documentaries right before you try to count sheep. It's about dimming the lights, literally and metaphorically, before you hit the hay.
Yeah, no more feeding the internal panic monster a triple espresso and a highlight reel of all your life's worst moments right before you tuck it in. It's about setting boundaries with your own brain. Like, hey, brain, I know you love to catalog every single mistake I've ever made, but could we maybe pause that until after breakfast?
It's like telling the paranoid gardener to take a break from judging the houseplants. Houseplants, you can judge tomorrow. Tonight we sleep. And this one's interesting, keeping proof logs outside your mind so your brain stops carrying everything at once. This is the ultimate external hard drive for your anxiety.
Yes, because your brain, that overzealous security camera, is constantly trying to keep track of everything. Every perceived slight, every weird glance, every time you felt unsafe. So offloading it to a notebook or a file, it's like telling your brain, hey, I've got this. You can actually let that go now. The data is backed up.
It's like giving your internal HR department a proper filing system instead of just letting them hoard angry sticky notes. Okay, Susan, all of the hex complaints are in this folder. You don't have to carry them all in your head anymore.
And Susan from accounting is like, but what if the folder gets stolen? What then, Jake? What then? And you're like, Susan, it's a very secure folder and it's outside your brain, which is the whole point.
Susan is a tough sell. But then we have the physical stuff. Hydration, food, walking, breathwork. The basics. It's like, okay, maybe if you literally give your body the fuel and movement it needs, it won't feel like it's perpetually trying to outrun a metaphorical tiger on an empty stomach.
Yes, it's the ultimate, have you tried turning it off and on again for your nervous system? Drink some water. Eat a sandwich that isn't made of pure anxiety. Go for a walk, even if it's just to yell at some clouds. Breathe. Just breathe like a normal human, not like you're about to give birth to a very worried owl.
A very worried owl, my kind of owl. And limiting repeated exposure to triggering contact or environments. This is basically saying, hey, maybe don't keep showing up to the avant-garde circus of pure, unadulterated nervous system meltdown if you don't have to.
Yeah, if your nervous system is consistently being triggered by that one coworker who breathes too loudly, maybe, just maybe, arrange your desks so you don't have to hear them. It's about conscious boundary setting, like telling the parallel parking elephant to find a different parking spot.
Tell the elephant, hey, this sternum is for internal organs, not for parallel parking. Then talking to someone grounded and trustworthy. So not just any random person, not the houseplant that's judging you, someone who can actually provide a reality check to your spiraling brain.
Yes, someone who doesn't feed the paranoia like hypervigilance. Someone who can say, no, Rachel, the garden gnomes are not actually moles. They're just gnomes. They're doing gnome things. Someone who can look at your tinfoil hat and say, that's a nice hat, but also you don't need it right now.
Someone who will help you take off the tinfoil hat, the ultimate act of friendship. And finally, trauma-informed therapy if it is severe or ongoing. This is when you bring in the professionals, the nervous system whisperers, the experts who can deal with the feral bouncer chihuahua and help it find its inner zen.
The nervous system whisperers. They'll help your emotional mood ring find its stable setting. They'll teach the panic accordion dog new, more relaxing tunes. They're the ones who can help your internal system, which has been performing a chaotic jazz solo, find its rhythm again.
So basically, it's a multi-pronged approach to unweaponizing your own mind. It's like a full-scale intervention for your overreactive internal security team. You're giving them a pension plan, a steady sleep schedule, and a nice quiet hobby that doesn't involve constantly scanning for metaphorical threats.
So we've walked through the dark forest of the weaponized nervous system, seen the monsters, and now we're emerging, blinking, into the sunlight. Rachel, what have we actually learned from this journey? Did we even touch on, the core premise that non-physical things can mess you up?
Oh, absolutely, Jake. We learned that your body doesn't need to be poked with a stick to go into full DEFCON 5. A strongly worded email can do it. A betrayal from a fluffy bunny can do it. Missing an hour of sleep can absolutely do it. It's like your nervous system has a fragile handle with extreme care sticker on it, but no one ever reads it.
Yeah, your nervous system is a delicate house of cards that also happens to be a chihuahua bouncer on crystal meth. We talked about how harassment turns your brain into a perpetual security camera, scanning for danger like it's a national emergency, even when it's just the mailman.
And the mailman is probably part of the damp sock conspiracy. Then we got into betrayal, which is not just an emotional gut punch, but literally makes your nervous system think the world is no longer stable, like Google Maps deciding all roads lead to lava. Remember the fluffy bunny of trust, which turned out to be a demonic bunny of betrayal?
I will never forget the demonic fluffy bunny. And then we layered on sleep deprivation, which is like pouring gasoline on an already burning house of cards. It lowers your ability to regulate stress, makes emotions hit harder, and turns you into a sputtering internal combustion engine fueled by mild inconveniences.
A sputtering internal combustion engine with damp socks on its feet. Then we went through the delightful list of symptoms: racing thoughts, tight chests, stomach issues doing the cha-cha, jaw clenching for walnut cracking contests, and the panic accordion dog in your chest. It's a full symphony of suffering.
A full sensory orchestra of distress conducted by the ghost of a misremembered email. And it's all because your nervous system is constantly asking, am I safe? And if the answer is always no, it adapts to a prolonged attack, even if that attack is just a slightly too long glance from Susan from accounting.
Susan from accounting is the real silent killer. And we wrapped it up with that beautiful triad. Harassment attacks peace, betrayal attacks trust, sleep deprivation attacks recovery. And all three together, they attack your regulation, making you feel completely overloaded, not weak or crazy, just a server crashing under the weight of too many tabs open.
Overloaded like a server trying to run 1,000 complex programs at once while also trying to explain quantum physics to a dense squirrel. And this overload left unchecked leads to burnout, anxiety, depression, trauma responses, paranoia like hypervigilance. Remember the judging houseplants? Emotional volatility and physical wear and tear.
The paranoid gardener and the judging houseplants, a full ecosystem of existential decay. But then we got to the good stuff, how to calm it all down. Regular sleep windows, reducing stimulation, offloading proof and logs from your brain, actual self-care like hydration and breath work.
Yes, retraining the panic accordion dog to play lullabies, limiting exposure to the avant-garde circus of your nervous system meltdown, talking to someone grounded, not the tinfoil hat-wearing gnomes, and, of course, getting professional help from the nervous system whisperers if things get too feral.
So, basically, it's about giving your body a break, setting boundaries, and maybe, just maybe, giving that internal bouncer chihuahua a nice cozy dog bed and a chew toy instead of a weapon. It's a full-scale emotional and neurological rehabilitation program.
A rehabilitation program for your brain and body because they're just trying their best in a world full of metaphorical tigers and actual damp socks. Send this episode to someone who needs to understand why they feel so wired and tired all the time.